9 o'clock. Oh, I'm gonna come see you. I'll text you now. 2 hours later. I want to That's my mate. That's my mate. That is my friend. I'm here the whole week. You didn't see me once. I'll see you.
Right, welcome. Good evening to the evening edition of Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Obviously, we brought you the first content of Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Here, evening broadcast on him weekends. If there are no games, we give you 2 of them. If there are games, we'll do all the post-match analysis now. Right after the games, I was on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube, so it can be more of that. But I mean, on international break, more than any evening there, and the more on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. We are back here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube to bring you the best in terms of tactical analysis, post-match analysis, on-the-field analysis. Every analysis be open on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. We give you the best. I say it. Of course, take and stay. Turn on notification, turn and no. In the notification, turn and make sure so be choose also choose all be so share link no. Emma for sunya content ni be enjoy. Share link to football group your mom. Let's disagree. Let's agree on the various things that we want to talk about our Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Emma review. Say oh share link ni you and me so in the comment section, let us have a conversation over there. And now everybody that they stake the bet of Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube, no, all the various social media handles, they go and checking the bets are going through. About 9 of them, no. I think the Macedonia, North Macedonia, and the Faroe Islands. Then that was the last one that I checked before I came in here. Let me have a quick check on it. So North Macedonia, share Faroe Islands by go to 0 over 0.5. Latvia versus Armenia, and also have gone through Algeria. Any team, your friend of Liberia and Algeria to win at 27th minute, na a 1-1 over the Togo. Any team, your friend of Equatorial Guinea over Togo. Ashesa over goal. Am I were waiting for the other ones? The next one also Algeria to win, and also Honor. Yes, but so Algeria will go on and then gets the win. Of course, the subsequent ones from North Macedonia over 0.5. Algeria also straight winner over wow. Algeria straight winner seems to be in all of the slips, and of course there's Togo for Equatorial Guinea. So we are hoping Algeria Juman Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube now. Debate and anyway. Of course, let's start here being really conversations. I've seen something, and I think that I've spoken about it before. And how Enzo Maresca prepare for the post-match training session with the Chelsea boys now. It seems to be the difference maker in how Chelsea for boys number game we are. Send on post-match analysis now. It seems to be the difference maker, and there have been evidence to it. And I will talk about it. I'll talk about how that's very, very important to Enzo Maresca in the post-match analysis on the players after games, and how that's important for them again. You may remember other stories more on the things on Spain, in Brazil, in Europe. I will remember a few of them. But before we even go to Chelsea Corner, yes, starting to say, you will remove from this angle. See, as a footballer, the top guys, one of the things that they do are among where having the appeal that they want to get, and especially one thing that's consistently seen a lot of footballers do that help them is to go to the various areas now, because slums now, and Niska people don't have money like that, so to literally go and try and fraternize with them, to go and be with them, go and be their friend, spend quality time with them. Most of the times, so players they tend to get some goodwill from a comfortable crew. Now, so I brought here friend of Memphis Depay, and I mean a movie from Atletico de Madrid last summer to go and play in the Brazilian League or for Corinthians. Now, After Corinthians for last game, boy, Memphis Depay spending time with the local community of Corinthians fans now. Or taking photos with pictures, any pictures with the young fans, enjoy some food, and even got his hair done. And the total bill for that time now is 7,000 Brazilian rand, 7,000 Brazilian dollars, and was spending and that seems to be a lot of money for a branch here friend Memphis Depay. But the thing is that as a player, who's spending good time with Nkufo say, and you let them know that you are part of them. Consistently, these people tend to root for you. And if say own free Brazil club, if they can root for him, if they can be very good to him, that's only success on the field. He's going to have an excellent time. And who should be to Memphis Depay? He seems to want to enjoy the life whilst playing the game of football, and that's what I brought here. Your friend Memphis Depay. Still in South America, Argentina for goalkeeper Emi Martinez. And now in the last few days after Argentina 4 game, losing to Paraguay. Emi Martinez has spoken. Now he was asked about the kind of pressure Argentina players and South American players have, especially after some winning World Cup. And about Chelsea player friend Enzo Fernandez. Now, I'm beside to say, as Argentina for will hate to be, but they don't like the French people. Not so they be or no as a person. He doesn't have an issue with the French people and that's the French national team. Now, it will maybe not go for say Enzo Fernandez, a racist, but he's a nice person. Now, just football banter and no one would say basketball no more. They didn't know that it was going to go that bad, it was going to go that far in terms of how people were going to take it. And he was talking about the cultural difference when you come from South America and then you go and play in Europe, how Europeans see things, how South Americans see things. He's talking about the fact that for South Americans, they don't take it too lightly, but for Europeans, something that can be trivial in South America. In Europe, can be very, very huge, can be a bit a lot of problems. They've learned to be very careful. And he spoke about that Enzo Fernandez, Argentina for a video surface here, Argentina for France players, most of them in free France. Most of Omabusi for in Nigeria, Africa, a big deal with Chelsea club. It brought a lot of pressure right at the beginning of the reign of Enzo Maresca. Wesley Fofana, Moko Tweety, some of them unfollowed Enzo Fernandez. French boys never Cobam. They had issues with Enzo Fernandez. It was a really, really big deal. And that's what Emiliano Martinez, the best goalkeeper in the world, can want some about Enzo Fernandez. Now say Enzo Fernandez is a nice guy. He was called a racist. And this interview was also to France football, not the France football for when he is not at all. I have no hatred for France. It's just about Argentina and France have an untold rivalry, of course, with each other. Anybody that knows geopolitics, that knows all the history between the two nations, knows of the untold rivalry between Argentina. But I don't think so. That's the reason why this came up. I solely doubt there's nothing than that. I think it was just a chant based from Enzo Fernandez and any Argentine colleagues when they were in the bus and then they were enjoying themselves after that win. Of course, Inter 4 announcer said in the next summer, almost 2 players, Marco Arnautovic and Abrantia and Joachim Correa. Arnautovic 35, Joachim Correa 30 years now. Both of them, they will both be free agents in the summer as their contract will not be extended at Inter Milan. Inter were a lot of depth in terms of attackers. Mind is that this season, only a lot of players by Kokofa, Thuram, Lautaro Martinez, they have a lot of players. Dzeko at some point in time came to play. Marco Arnautovic has played at certain times. Joachim Correa has been in the team for a lot of the times. Also, Piotr Zielinski in the middle of the pack has been there for them. By Inter Force, according to BP Marotta, Oyomo sporting director, and what he's saying is that they are not going to extend the contract of Abrantia, your friend Marco Arnautovic and Joachim Correa, and they are going to leave their club and then going to be free agents. When I'm talking about France and French football, a lot of the debacle in Madrid near, you would want Kylian Mbappe, so Obenia peace of mind, more focusing on Bono, I on Madrid, because obviously the results isn't coming. In fact, the last time against Osasuna, Madrid were able to get a job done, and then Barca dropping points against Real Sociedad. So there is a glimmer of hope. So Barca can go on and then get success when it comes to them. They can go on and make sure somebody we need certain specific games and then go on and maybe catch team out your friend Real Madrid. But of course, for the Le of France now, Le of France, Kylian Mbappe, it's not playing on cat team, you know. And in an interview lead out to a game on the ball, Abrantia, your friend Dio Upamecano, Edin Como with French football again on it, TF1, and Omudin Como. They spoke about a lot of things, including Abrantia friend Kylian Mbappe on the TF1, Edin Como. Now they spoke. This is exactly what Abrantia friend Dio Upamecano can. So of course, we miss Kylian Mbappe. He is our most important player, and I think that most of the French team, you know, would want to have a branch of Kylian Mbappe back into their team. Still in France, me sure what news no said Lyon has been demoted, giving certain things a air cost with financial management no, and it's animal. But the Lyon president has come out on the owner John Textor. Now John Textor said we will not be relegated. There is no chance. I know that our situation makes some skeptical. I prefer the Premier League system, which punishes clubs differently. We have resources that go well beyond the club. Even if we fail on all of our global initiatives of 700 million euros, our owners will not let the group sink. There is no chance that we get regulated. I think that I'm giving all of the bad press about Lyon for so this seems to be some good news for Lyon for them and everything that's going on in. But now let's enter and some and me who had a big main conversation I'm a person having, which is first question. We are Chelsea here. Will you take Paul Abile Pogba or Chelsea or not? Will you take Paul Abile Pogba? I mean, and I reported for you, said Paul Abile Pogba, I had a contract extension with Juventus. I mean contract termination with Juventus, and officially in January, Paul Abile Pogba will be free Juventus or be a free agent. Now, in that free agent, now Paul Abile Pogba can here to say, all training in Miami. Now he's looking for options in Europe. I mean, in South America and of course in Asia as well. Paul Pogba wants to play football again. Make an power say, I would want to see Paul Pogba leave football on his own terms, in times where he feels like he doesn't have any more to give to the game, then he bows out. Instead of being forced out from all of these sanctions and whatnot. So all of us are excited for Paul Abile Pogba. If you watch Pogba at Manchester United, at Juventus, and again this morning, I spoke about the fact that Paul Abile Pogba, football education, you know, it makes him on top. He learns a lot of things from Claudio Marchisio, Pello, when he was playing for Juventus and when he came to Manchester United. I mean, initially under Sir Alex Ferguson, so he learned a few things, and he's one of the best. I mean, CDMs, controllers, for him. You get it in Abile Pogba. You always look out for that World Cup final in 2018. And I'm actually Chelsea now. If Chelsea have a chance to sign a branch friend Paul Abile Pogba, do you think say he fits Chelsea Football Club? And I know I am a question for you today, but even away from that, here, make Canada the beginning of the season. So one of the things that make Enzo Maresca a very innovative coach, never be a down so next standing out the fact that he is very innovative, very, very innovative. Now, say me sure say ne inkofo who picture we. It is a picture of Enzo Maresca, Moses Caicedo, and Bedouin Belashiri standing in front of a giant screen. Now, in Chilema, what picture actually said? Abra Enzo Maresca eba Chelsea now. He asked for 5 different set of camera angles to be installed at Kuba, especially on the training field. Now, one of the things that he is very keen on is intensity during training. And according to Enzo Maresca, the boys need training. He wants to make sure that they are doing everything possible. They are focused on the training. There is high intensity, even as high as games. And according to a lot of the top coaches, it is difficult for you to simulate matches, simulate training like matches. Say, make a simulation. I say, training, yet to say match. It's difficult for you to get that. Now, he tries to do that. But one other very excellent, innovative piece of Enzo Maresca is say, for a lot of clubs in Wubiasi, after games, what they do is that they have meetings, tactical meetings. So they review the footage. Analysts don't go over the footage. They look at where players did certain things wrong. They show it to the coaches. The coaches go through it. Then they show it to the senior coach. They pick certain parts that they want to talk about in our meetings. Then they sit down in most of the times the conference room. It's almost a conference room, maybe after breakfast, they watch it, they review it, then they go to a training ground, try to practice and correct those mistakes. Now, Enzo Maresca getting a little bit unconventional. Now, so send you one more picture, what Enzo Maresca does is that, on any players team have asked Chelsea sporting directors no Wayne Stanley any steward to install a giant screen. Now what they do is simple. They said giant screen is on only the specific parts of the games and KVA committee conference room and convention. Then they are watching. In the picture, Benoit Sonisisi, Moise Caicedo Sonisisi. So they watch it, they go and do the training. It's like ever say pass the Benoit how they're supposed to play it, what's 10, in which angle, or each room or one. Then when you actually maybe mention the ball 3 times, then they go to the training park and so then they turn around, they play the football, they show exactly how they want to play. Now Enzo Fernandez okay, they be me penny say, once the sunny say, one shifting in Kosi, Sadio Moyeni say MY, like all of those things seems to be very, very imperative and it helps the team. It helps the transition time of Selka training no back to the park and so on. It helps cut it short. Now on the fourth of play, Enzo Fernandez just go straight to the point. And maybe that may be the reason in TI, at least I see the Chelsea players now are grasping everything that Enzo Maresca. I mean, more in the training ground in terms of what he does for them on the ball, what they have to do off the ball, the player positions, where somebody's supposed to be without the ball, and it's animal. It seems to be a very, very important thing by Honor. I think it's a very smart way of learning, a massive way, and help it to put things in shape quicker. And most of the times now, and also even on the screen comes here, a preseason game at Chelsea and in Dortmund. I think the Chelsea in Dortmund or Wrexham or so, and in that game, Chelsea made a lot of mistakes. It's just a point of reference for Chelsea team to make sure say they learn, they don't make a lot of mistakes, they correct their mistakes now. Then in all of that, they tend to turn things around in that regard. Almost all of the outlets have taken it up. ESPN, SC Chelsea's large screen at Cobham, rewatch match performances, which is very, very important in that regard. And all of the outlets now picking it up. And Luis, as you said, Enzo Maresca is using very, very innovative ways in passing his ideas down to Chelsea players now, which is very, very important. So because Chelsea players now know certainly said there are games where they have to win and then there is no time, especially after international break now. The players are going to be playing every 3 days. Every 3 days, and there's going to be a game. Our Chelsea team them consistently. They will want to make sure that they have worked harder, they have used the time wisely to make sure everything will be going on well. And again, Belgium after said Chelsea a boss a game against Arsenal. Romeo Lavia went down slightly injured, and Belgium invited him to the camp. Romeo did not play. He was assessed over there. A player at Chelsea for managing it successfully. Belgium went in there. He went to do training for them, and it looks as you said Romeo Lavia, the hamstring injury, may be coming. Chelsea have recorded him this one. I did say, and yet anything huge, major, it might affect our branch friend Romeo Lavia, but Chelsea have called him back in there to bring him in. And then England for a game, Chelsea 4 player Noni Madueke a part of the starting 11 being back to back. He started. Mario was in the last one out. Noni Madueke assisted a goal for Oli Watkins, and this time it's in Liverpool 4 player. Your friend Oli Watkins has also been called into the team for the Premier League for Eddie Leicester. Basia, who is your Premier League player of the season so far? And on the list now, Liverpool for midfielder Ryan Gravenberch, one of the best midfielders this season in the English Premier League. In fact, I think I'll try to or edge Moise Caicedo slightly as the best midfielder in the English Premier League this season. There is a Brantford friend Ellen Haaland, there is Cole Palmer, there is Anton Robinson, there is Bukayo Saka, there is Mohamed Salah, there is Virgil van Dijk, Danny Welbeck, Johan Wissa, and your Brantford friend Chris Wood are some of the best players or English Premier League this season. So far this season, say number of games here, but so far this season, or let's see if a Brantford friend Cole Palmer can go on and win, or who wins it over there. We'll see how all of those things do turn out. Emma Brantia, you have all of the guys that have been in there. Arsenal for legend, Ivan Robin Van Persie, he was asked, so we'll come back to Arsenal, how can you coach? And this I said, I don't expect to work at Arsenal. I think that door is closed because of my switch to Manchester United. They never know in football, but that's my assessment. It's still sensitive for them, not for me. it is especially sensitive for Arsenal fans. Van Persie via the Sport podcast, and that's what he spoke over there. Of course, the best rated centre back we are as we talk now. Abatia friend of Virgil van Dijk, highest rated centre back in the Premier League this season. Abatia friend of Virgil van Dijk. Chelsea captain I friend Reece James. Ekokoshe England versus South Africa Proteus game. Rugby game. And he was there with Aaron Ramsdale. Now Reece James him to go and watch that big rugby game and also England. No? He definitely wanted to go and have some fun over there. He met South Africa's rugby captain. Your friend Sia Kolisi. He met him, had some good time with him. I want him to spend when England were playing rugby in the 7-6 games. So this is what we join the Ketting on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube and anywhere. Do take care. We'll be back. Bye.